Hello everyone, welcome to Gulte.com again. This is Lokesh Bandi. So, manam Kannada industry nunchi we have seen larger than life films like KGF and Kantara. But away kakunda there are some films which are close to your heart, which tuck you and string your emotions big time. That one such film is Sapta Sagaralu Dhaati. Idi ippudu Telugulo Sapta Sagaralu Dhaati ani 22nd release avutundi. So today we have Rakshith Shetty and Rukmini Vasanth with us. Hi.
Hi.
So first of all, I'd like to ask you this. Whenever I watched the Kannada version trailer as well, initially when the trailer released, usually you're doing films, that are larger than life only actually, whether that, even that is Charlie, which has a lot of emotions, it is larger than life. Yeah. Before that, Avane Srimanarayana, even Kirak Party, there are little larger than life actually, heroism and all. But this film won't give you any scope for such. Yeah. It's purely, It's So, why did you take up this project in the first place?
This is not larger than life, but this is a poetry, and poetry is always exaggerated. So this, which also makes this a little bit, larger than life only.
Okay. But in a different way.
In a different way. Why did I accept this project? Because purely because of it is made by Heroine Rao.
Okay.
So I believe that if a director is true to the cinema, then the cinema will take care of the rest of the things. True. Where hit or a flop, it's a complete different aspect.
Previously you worked together, I think, right?
Yeah, we have worked together. So I know how dedicated he is, what is the kind of responsibility he takes when he is directing a film, and how much he loves cinema as such. And see, he will never consider him bigger than the cinema. Okay. So he'll do everything for the cinema, but not keeping himself in mind. So when you know that there is a person who is making a film like that, you can blindfoldedly give yourself to him, especially when otherwise most of my films I have written it, or I have written and directed it, or I have written the script at least. Yeah. So when I have not written the script, then I need somebody whom I can completely trust on 100%. Where I can give myself as an actor only.
Understood.
So that's the main reason. And also, right now I am more than creating a bigger market, which for that reason also I do certain films. Like for Kirik Party was that I wanted to create a bigger market. Okay. ASN was that I wanted to create a bigger market. But Charlie and Sapta Sagaralu Dhaati is, I want to be associated with good films, so that it adds on to my profile. Okay. And I believe more than how much I'm doing in theatres, more than that, when I do a commercial film like Richard Anthony, and when that releases, and which is going to go through a market which I have not conquered it, shouldn't say conquer, but
of course you can say over there, you're conquering. The cinema is literally conquering now. The first Telugu, then you started Bollywood. Yeah.
So when I do that, and when people know, this guy, who is this guy, and I want to see rest of his films, and when they start watching Sapta Sagaralu Dhaati or 777 Charlie, that adds a lot to my profile, because see, Richard Anthony is a very mass commercial kind of a character, and after watching that, when you watch, he played such an innocent character also in Sapta Sagaralu Dhaati, or such an introvert character in 777 Charlie, or such a lively character in Kirik Party, such a quirky character in Avane Srimanarayana. Yeah. So now that is a profile, right? True. So I enjoy that more.
Yeah. Before coming to let's talk to Rukmini. So after watching this film, so many of my friends, from Bangalore, everyone, people from the film industry, they are saying you are the next big thing, the next Sai Pallavi of South cinema. Oh. So how come, I'm hearing so many such comments? They say that you nailed it inside, So how did you, end up in this project, and so how did you prepare for the role?
I ended up in this project by running after it. Frantically. Okay. I had known that they were making a love story. I knew that this specific team, Heroine Rao, Rakshith Shetty, Charan Raj, were part of a film. I knew that much information. Okay. And I'd seen Godi Barna, their previous work. I'd seen most of Rakshith's previous work. And I have a personal affinity for love stories.
Okay.
So the idea that this team is coming together to do a love story, and I didn't see a female lead name was,
Okay.
you know, I had some sort of like idea. I never dreamt that I'd be in it, but
Okay.
I had my eye out for it as someone who enjoys watching Kannada cinema.
Okay.
Then I saw an article saying that they were auditioning for the female lead, and it
Okay.
felt like fate, you know, like some force telling me now is your chance. Do it now, otherwise don't.
Because somewhere I heard Mr. Hammond saying that you will message at those times 11/11 2022. You had
No,
that.
so that's not we've made a joke of it,
Okay.
but
That's
I
not
think
true.
Not always. I don't send all important messages at that time, but this specific one, I had about 3 or 4 years of no work during COVID, and you know, just I'd been struggling to figure out my next move.
Okay.
And sometimes there comes a time in your life when you're just like,
You end up at the
it's
right
okay.
place at the right
I don't
time.
know if I believe in it, but what's the harm?
Okay,
I'll
okay.
send the message 11/11. What will happen?
But I heard that like you were a trained actor. You studied acting in London for 3 years.
So I
think.
had before my first film in 2019, I studied. I graduated from the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts in 2016
Nice.
from London. So yeah, so I reached out to Hemant. I told him about my training. I told him about my previous film, and I expressed my interest in auditioning for the role.
Okay.
And then I auditioned and I got it. But once I got the role, a lot of the preparation Hemant only took care of in terms of doing a workshop between Rakshith, Hemant and me.
Yeah, I'm about to ask that because even sometimes when real life couple acts on the silver screen also, that chemistry won't turn up actually. Even if they're couple in the real life, that won't translate to the screen. But still, when watching you both like in the trailers, teaser, songs and all, the chemistry is really awesome. So how did you prepare for it actually? So what is going on in your head to fit into this role?
Initially we had a workshop. Hemant did a workshop for two of us to know each other.
Okay.
As Rakshith and Rukmini also, as Manu and Priya also.
Okay.
And how we can bring the common grounds together. And that workshop definitely helped us, and that's where we started from. In the sense what we built in the workshop, that's what we started from. In terms of when we started shooting the film.
Okay.
So and obviously, I think the character Priya and Manu both started building on us as we started shooting. So Hemant normally shoots film. Like for example, he shoots the first 20 minutes of the film. Okay. Now those 20 minutes is not in sequence, but he finishes at 20 minutes and then goes to the next 20 minutes. He has shot few scenes which is completely probably which comes in second half also,
okay.
Depending on the availability of the locations and stuff. But he made it easy for us so that the character grows inside us throughout the shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very thoughtful in that sense. So he won't give you an intense scene that relies fully on our chemistry. He won't give you that in the first 2 days.
Okay.
He'll let you sort of warm up to it, and then you kind of find it naturally, especially when you have an actor who's, when
So
I was
both
working,
are more like method actors in that case, isn't it?
No, I mean it depends on what you mean by method. I think for me.
No, it's to grow with the character, along the filming process, to grow with the character. Usually we pick a location, we finish all the scenes, whether it is climax or introduction, then we'll close the location, move to the next location. It's not like sequencing.
For me, it's more of, I think it's a mixture of both method acting and stems.
The regular.
Other non-method.
Non-method acting, yeah. So for me, I think it's a mixture of it. But more than anything, I believe that when two actors are acting, and I think if they're what conversation they have through their eyes, more than what they talk, if they can see something through each other's eyes, I think that makes it easy for you to get inside the character, which is why I've told in the last 10 years I have not met an actor like a co-star like her, Rukmini, yeah, because she conveys a lot through her eyes, and as soon as you see that innocence in somebody's eyes, and how much this scene means so much to them. When I say this scene, I'm talking about the content of this scene, which actually means a lot to Priya. If I start seeing that in the co-actor, in real,
it reflects in your work.
It reflects naturally to me, and it's a give and take after that.
True. So, before, talking more about Sapta Sagaralu Dhaati, I want to ask you this. Most Telugu audience want to know about this, Are you guys friends or like relatives or what? Rakshith Shetty, Rishabh Shetty, Rajbir Shetty. You three guys are literally rocking actually, for us. Because, we know about all three, you three are writers, you three are directors, you three are actors. And it takes so much actually to become, such a multi-talented and doing the multitasking stuff and also producing. So, what are you three actually? Friends or relatives?
We are friends. We are friends.
Okay, now, because the same surname you have, I think Shetty, Shetty, Shetty.
Yeah, in the sense we come from the same region.
Okay.
It's a coastal belt of Karnataka.
Okay.
And but Rishabh comes from Kundapur.
Okay.
And you come 50 kilometers down south. I come from Udupi.
Okay.
Then you come 50 kilometers down south. Rajbir Shetty comes from Mangalore.
Mangalore. Okay. Yeah. Mangalore, so many other Shetties, Anushka Shetty.
So many,
yeah. Cool. So when you three are going to make a film together? When can we see like three of you? Because
after Richard Anthony, probably I have a script called Midway to Moksha, where I have written a character for all three of us.
Okay.
So probably if that happens, then.
So, at the initial stages of your career when you were making, Kirat Party, that Rishabh directed it, right? So, after that, what made you take up, writing and direction? Or like, is it like initially you wanted to start as a director and become actor? Or
So, right from my short films,
Okay.
so I wanted to be an actor. When I came to Bangalore, I wanted to be an actor. And then, so because I wanted to be an actor, I started searching I used to use Orkut, and I was doing an IT job.
Okay.
So I was into QA, so that is quality analysis.
Okay.
So it was just, out of 8 hours, within 3 hours I should finish my job. So still had 5 hours, so I used to only be on the internet and on Orkut I used to search for if there is any short film making groups. Most of the short film makers are amateur, and their writing is also amateur. So the characters what they write is very very amateur.
And a couple of scenes and no characterization at all.
Exactly.
In short films, yeah.
So when I used to perform, then I used to feel that I'm such a bad actor, and this is not going to do anything to me, and this is not even going to create a profile. I can't even show it to other filmmakers and say that see, look, I can act. Please give me a chance. I can't even do that. So that's when I started writing for myself. That so I started writing short films where I can act. And that's when I wrote Ulidoru Kannante also, to be frank.
Okay.
And once I wrote Ulidoru Kannante and I started getting appreciation from people around, but then I directed few short films also, where I showed the trailer cut to few people, and as a filmmaker also I was getting good appreciation from the people around the industry at least.
Okay.
So that's how it started. But once I started writing and directing, especially after Ulidoru Kannante, I wanted to do more of this.
Okay.
And so, at a situation where when I left everything, like IT, GT, everything I left, and
Full time you became a film guy.
Film guy. And one thing I was confident that if I don't launch myself as an actor, I'm sure I'll be a filmmaker. So for a filmmaker, even if I get a break at 40 also, it is okay. So I was confident that as a filmmaker, I will not fail. I'll only get better than what, like if I can do short films in such a level, then if I dedicate myself truly, then definitely I can write good films and I can direct films at least. So that's how it started.
Okay. By 40 and already you became a superstar already. So that's very good. So Rukmini, coming to you, when you are part of, a film, that resonates with the mindsets and hearts of so many people, immediately you will be offered so many films, even from Telugu industry. So are you being offered anything here, or what are your plans like here in Telugu industry?
I have not been offered anything as yet.
Okay.
But yeah, it makes me very happy that this story that we've all worked so hard on, and I know, like, I can speak for myself, like working on Priya has been such a beautiful, gratifying experience for me. Sometimes you have a film that you work on where you're like, okay, if this is all my career was, in a weird way, I can be happy. Like,
so where do you see yourself, like, in the next 5 years, if I can ask?
I haven't thought. I think the last 5 years has taught me that you can't really predict where you're going to be, what is going to happen. So COVID taught me to be not very, but more zen than I was.
Humble and, having some realistic expectations.
Not even realistic. I never dreamed that Sapta Sagaralu Dhaati would happen for me. I saw the poster pre-COVID. In COVID, I was working on this film.
Okay.
How could I have
I hope
ever
all good
predicted
things
that?
will happen to you. So why you coming, pretty late to Telugu industry? Because with this film you could have the release on the same date, no?
The thing is, we believe that few films, it should, it's a slow burner.
Yeah.
It's as the film is a slow burner, even the marketing strategy and the way the film travel will also be a slow burner.
Okay.
And so we wanted it first to release in Kannada and create that way, because in Kannada also Sapta Sagaralu kind of film has not come. There are love stories which has come very long time back, but it's a typical different kind of love stories, not the kind of love story what Hemant has made in Sapta Sagaralu.
Initially I thought this is the Arjun Reddy of Kannada industry. After watching trailer, at one point I felt this is Arjun Reddy of Kannada industry. But then now I heard, of course, the story is different.
It's very different. But we knew that there is an audience for this kind of film.
Okay.
So let's tap them first and let's get a good word of mouth, because word of mouth plays a very major role. If audience who do not cater to this kind of films, if they come to theater, then the word of mouth can be mixed. We didn't want to take that chance.
Okay.
The word of mouth has to start in a good way, and then if the rest of the audience, if they are curious enough and they come with that kind of a mindset and they watch the film, probably they like it. So that was the idea.
The film's result itself to market for itself.
Market
in the
for
other
itself,
industries.
yeah. And this is that kind of a film. Not all films. For example, Charlie had a dog in it, and there are dog lovers across the country. So we knew there is a market.
Okay.
So there we released on the same day in all languages. Whereas this film is a little different, and it has to take its own course.
So, I want to ask you this. Back then when we were young, they used to say that dubbed films were not allowed to release in Karnataka. Okay. Now, Kannada films are being dubbed and released in other industries. Then obviously you have to allow other dubbed films also. Correct. So now, Tollywood, even Karnataka industry or Tamil industry, they have all grown to next level. At this point of time, how do you see, Telugu industry, right now? And where do you see South industry in terms of, films, the results, the box office, and in terms of content, where do you see South industry heading? Recently, because Atli made Jawan, it is phenomenal at the box office. Yeah.
No, the thing is, the whole world is opening up, to be frank. It's not just India, it's not just South India. The whole world, to be frank, is opening up to good content from any part of the world. And people are ready to, in the sense, see, OTT is so easily available to you. Even before the torrents and all, you used to watch films.
Yes.
But now this is legal.
But thanks to COVID, now it has become illegal.
Yeah. So now this is completely legal, right? So the world is ready to watch your content if you give something extraordinary, and that's the beauty of it. But obviously, to reach the world, then your content has to be in that range. But when it comes to just the South, I believe all industries are becoming just one now, because people want to know. For example, now you would want to know what is happening in Udupi, right? Because you have never been there. Probably even if you have been there for 1 or 2 days, or there might be people who would have come and stayed there for a year and liked few things about the place. True. But someone who has grown up there, when he makes a film about that place, the kind of things what he shows is, for example, you see somebody's right from his childhood to his maturity, that journey through his film. And I would like to know what is happening in Kurnool. I would like to know what is happening in the interior places of Andhra, and that I can know only through films, because the film shows a filmmaker's experience, his life experience. So the whole South is, first of all, will become one, and then the whole country will become one, and then the whole world will become one. That is my idea of cinema right now.
Cool. If it happens like that, that will be too good actually.
That is the future. You can't avoid it for a long time.
So at this point of time, do you idolize someone from the Telugu industry, or do you look up to them as an inspiration, whether it is actors or directors or writers?
Obviously, Rajmouli Garu is one guy who changed the course of Indian cinema, and he took. People like Maniratnam sir also did it, in 90s, 2000, early 2000, where they took Tamil film and took it to the
whole nation,
to the nation. But Rajmali Garu changed the course completely.
Yeah.
So obviously, not everybody can do it, right? And if you see his filmography, like, is there any film which didn't work?
No. He's the one who is 100% successful.
So how is that?
Yeah.
So
that keeps wondering you in Telugu industry, folks.
no,
also.
that's only because the kind of love he has for cinema. And
Whatever, like, as we were talking about, Mr. Maniratnam, because his films are more like you will see the Tamil flavor only. Anytime you will see the Tamil flavor. But in Rajmouli sir's film, you won't see any such flavor. If you're watching as a Kannadiga, you will feel it like Kannada film. Watching as a like some other Bihar guy, you will feel like Bihar film only. Even Prashant Neel did that magic. That's why KGF so successful actually. I'm watching it, I feel like watching a Telugu film only. Not anywhere I won't feel like a Kannada film, except for the actors. Where Ash is relatively new. And earlier I heard a rumor that initially you were supposed to do KGF, not Ash. No. Okay. So what about you, Rukmini? Whom do you look, in Telugu film industry as inspiration, or like you idolize someone?
In terms of as performers,
Okay.
I really like the kind of work that Sai Pallavi Garu does.
Okay.
Just in the sense of obviously the kind of range she has, like she'll do love stories like Fida and stuff like that. I love that kind of work. But there was a film that Paramba Pictures also did called Gargi. They did it in Telugu, Tamil and Kannada. And
Kannada, we released the Kannada version.
Paramba released the Kannada version of it. But I really admire her work ethic because I think she dubbed for all 3 languages and stuff like that. So I really like her work. I really like her performance and her dancing and everything. I think she performs incredibly. But I also like the kind of actor she is. So I find that really inspiring.
Yeah, that's what people are saying. You are the next Sai Pallavi. So if you are replacing your idol, then there's a different story. Not replacing, at least when you are overtaking your idol, that will be a different story. It happens so many times, right? Virat Kohli adored, Sachin all his life. Now he is the new Sachin Tendulkar of the Indian cricket
I don't
team.
think you can ever replace.
Not replacing, I mean to say, like, you're taking that position. It's all about,
I don't know about taking a position also. If you're lucky, you're able to carve your own niche. She, through her work, through her talent, has created her own niche which no one can take from her. And we can all just admire that. So if I am lucky, if it's in the stars, I will be able to do that for myself.
Cool. So before wrapping up, I want to ask you about the music, especially why, because so many people use violins a lot, but not to the kind of, that reflects the real emotion of the film. This film, I think the trailer, every song, it has the violin work. There's a lot of violins all through. So why, I never heard initially about, Charan Raj, I don't know about him, because we know about Aznish Loknath, some other music directors who also worked here, like who are popular with like KGF, Kantara, like big films. But this guy, for me, he's relatively new. I don't know if he has done anything earlier, but what made you, pick up such kind of music? Because so many people won't accept that, that commercial meter they want for songs also, everything else. Here,
No, the film only is like that.
Okay.
The film itself is
So
story.
is it your taste or like the director's taste?
Director's taste, but me and Hemant, both of us, we are crazy fans of violin. We just, if somebody, I don't have a track like that, but if somebody gives me a track of 10 hours where violin is just playing and, it touches your heart.
True. Like, because violin is one strings instrument that can produce all kind of emotions. So, suppose in guitar you can't do sad a lot. Even though you try, you can't do sad a lot. You have a combination like bass guitar, lead guitar and all. But in violin, with single violin, you can create anything. So that's what I felt, the connection is too good for the film.
I think Hemant uses that a lot, and even I use in my films also. Violin is something which I love.
True. So when are you going to do a straight Telugu film, Rakshith?
Straight Telugu film.
Yeah, you have to do, right?
Like, there are, I think there are very few filmmakers in Kannada, and Telugu, there are many filmmakers here. There is, in Kannada, there is dearth of filmmakers. We need more filmmakers in Kannada. Okay. And so I would, right now I would stay
to Kannada film. Because super successful Kannada directors are all again coming to Telugu and directing the stars here. It's not a satire, but I'm saying that's what is happening right now.
Correct.
But you can direct a bilingual, no? You yourself are a director. Director write a bilingual.
Someday, probably. Now, see, when we have a pan-India culture, we can see as a filmmaker, as an actor, probably you can learn a language and you can act. But for a filmmaker, knowing the nuances of the language is very important. And so I am very comfortable with Kannada more than not just Kannada. If I get to make film in Mangalore Kannada, I am even more comfortable because that's where I've.
Bangalore Kannada is Tulu, right?
No, Tulu is a different language altogether.
Okay.
Mangalore Kannada is a dialect. Okay. It's a different dialect of the of Mysore Kannada, normal regular Kannada.
Okay.
And so now we have a culture of pan India. Even if we dub, we give a lot of importance to the nuances of the language. So luckily I have built a good team right from ASN, 777 Charlie and this film, where they are just amazing. Like Vijay sir, who leads the team of Telugu dubbing. Okay. I've worked with him for this is my third film. Okay. So next film also I'll be working with him because he understands our team very well now and what we are looking for, and he gives his 100%. He doesn't compromise on anything.
Okay. So are you open to like doing negative roles or guest roles in Telugu films?
Yes.
You're offered
not
by like
not guest roles. Okay. Because I'm kind of an actor. To be frank, if I don't get inside the character, I can't act.
Okay.
I need to get inside the character. No, that character has to be during that phase of my filmmaking. That character needs to be in my blood. Like for example, if during Sapta Sagaralu Dhaati when I'm playing Manu, suddenly if you take me out and ask me to play, do that first half Karna, I won't be able to do it. Okay. So I am like that. So for me, it becomes very difficult where I have to go and just act for 1 or 2 days and come back. Okay. And even if I play a negative role which probably has like a bigger span in the film, then I can't do one more film. I need to give myself completely to that character during that time.
So after Upendra sir, there is a lot of space for a Kannada star to rise in Telugu cinema. He is the one who has done a lot here. All his films are also super hits. Mm-hmm. So hope you take that place. I always feel like watching Upendra again, watching you. Wow, I felt like that watching your previous film. So with that way, I'll wrap this interview. I wish you all success, and luck with Sapta Sagaralu Dhaati. Thank you, Rukmini. Thank you, Rakshith. So that's all for the now, guys. From Rakshith Shetty, Rukmini Vasanth, and me. Keep connected to Gulte.com. Thank you.